What happens when the most powerful man in football decides not to answer the call of the United States Senate? When sports, politics, money, and federal law collide, the result isn't just controversy, it's potential chaos. Today we dive deep into the high-stakes showdown between NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and the Senate Finance Committee. At the heart of the matter, streaming, fans, federal law, and a growing fear that the NFL may be biting off more than it can legally chew. If you think this is just about football, think again. This story is bigger than touchdowns and field goals. It's about power, accountability, and the future of how millions of Americans watch their favorite sport. Roger Goodell, the face of the National Football League for nearly 2 decades, is now at the center of a political storm that could shake the very foundation of professional sports broadcasting in the United States. It all started with the league's aggressive pivot toward digital streaming, an innovation meant to capture the attention of modern fans, but one that's drawn the ire of lawmakers and media watchdogs alike. This move hasn't gone unnoticed. In fact, it's placed Goodell squarely in the crosshairs of the Senate Finance Committee, which has announced plans to hold a hearing to examine the NFL's actions. The hearing is scheduled for this coming Tuesday, but Goodell has made one thing clear. He's not going. Yes, you heard that right. The commissioner of the most powerful sports league in the country has chosen to ghost the Senate Finance Committee, refusing to testify or even acknowledge their inquiry. That decision didn't sit well with members of Congress, especially not with Senator Ted Cruz, who fired back with a sharply worded letter packed with legal threats. Cruz raised concerns about whether the NFL's streaming-only deals might be pushing the limits of the league's federal antitrust exemptions, protections granted decades ago through a law known as the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961. This piece of legislation was designed to allow leagues like the NFL to negotiate television rights collectively, rather than leaving individual teams to fend for themselves. But here's the catch. It was intended for over-the-air networks, those iconic 3-letter giants like ABC, CBS, and NBC. Back then, games were broadcast for free to anyone with a TV antenna. Fast forward to today, and fans are being asked to jump through digital hoops, subscribe to multiple streaming platforms, and dish out hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars just to follow their teams. The game has changed, and not everyone's happy about it. Mike Florio, a respected voice in football media, put it bluntly. He said the Sports Broadcasting Act arguably only applies to traditional broadcast channels, not digital platforms hidden behind paywalls. And when you start telling the people who hold legislative power that you're not interested in talking, you invite serious consequences. That's where Goodell stands today, at a crossroads where defiance could lead to subpoenas, legal reforms, or even the loss of the NFL's precious antitrust shield. This isn't just speculation. The tension is real and growing. Florio also pointed out a rising unease between the NFL and the Biden administration, suggesting that the league may already be skating on thin ice. That's not just political drama, it's a warning shot. Because when federal lawmakers start asking tough questions about billion-dollar deals and fan access, they usually don't stop until they get answers. Let's talk about those deals for a moment. In recent years, the NFL has embraced streaming like never before. From Peacock and Prime Video to ESPN Plus, Netflix, and YouTube TV, the league is everywhere online. But that convenience for some has become a burden for others. If you're a diehard fan who wants to watch every game, you might need to sign up for as many as 9 different streaming platforms. And the cost? Reports estimate that it could total anywhere from $1,700 to $2,500 per year. That's more than some fans pay for rent or groceries in a single month. Fans are understandably frustrated. The days of flipping on the TV and watching your team for free are slipping away. Now it's all about apps, passwords, and monthly bills. The breaking point for many came during the 2024 AFC wildcard matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins. That high-stakes playoff game was available exclusively on Peacock, a move that sent shockwaves through the fan base. No cable, no broadcast, just one option, a digital subscription. Yet despite the mounting backlash from fans, lawmakers, and segments of the media, Roger Goodell shows no signs of retreat. In interviews with CNBC and MarketWatch, he remained unshaken, fully confident in the NFL's digital strategy. He doubled down on the league's decision to move forward with streaming partnerships, stating, "You have to go where your fans are." He followed up with an analogy meant to sound relatable yet bold. "We're fishing where the fish are." That phrase has since been repeated across social media and newsrooms, sparking debate over whether the NFL truly understands its fan base or is simply chasing the next lucrative tech trend. From a business perspective, his reasoning tracks with the broader media landscape. Streaming is no longer the future, it's the present. Companies across the entertainment spectrum are shifting toward on-demand content, cutting out cable, and tapping into younger, tech-savvy audiences who have little interest in traditional broadcasting. But business decisions don't exist in a vacuum. They carry consequences, especially when those decisions seem to defy federal laws or disregard public interests. While it may make short-term financial sense to pursue digital expansion, the legal and ethical dimensions of this choice have raised red flags in Washington. The NFL isn't just any corporation. It's a powerful institution that has enjoyed federal protection under the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961. That law wasn't designed with subscription-only platforms in mind. It was crafted for a very different era, one in which sports broadcasting served a public good by ensuring free access to nationally important events. What happens when that foundational access begins to erode? Goodell's decision to skip the upcoming Senate Finance Committee hearing has turned what was already a heated issue into a full-blown political conflict. To lawmakers, his absence sends a message. The NFL doesn't believe it owes Congress or the American people any explanations, and that message is not going over well. Committee members see his no-show as more than just an administrative inconvenience. It's a direct challenge to their oversight authority. While the commissioner is not currently under subpoena, legal experts have suggested that one could easily be issued if the committee decides to escalate. And based on the current level of frustration in the Senate, that possibility appears more likely with each passing day. Behind the scenes, conversations are growing more urgent. Legal analysts, antitrust scholars, and industry insiders are now speculating that Congress may take a hard look at reforming or even repealing the very protections the NFL has long relied upon. If that happens, it won't just affect how games are shown. It could change the way the league operates at a fundamental level. Without antitrust exemptions, the NFL could be forced to renegotiate media deals on a team-by-team basis. The collective bargaining model that has helped the league grow into a multi-billion-dollar empire could be dismantled. That's not just theory. That's a potential future being shaped by decisions made right now. Goodell, however, remains confident in his position. He continues to point to statistics that paint a picture of success. According to him, somewhere between 85 and 90% of NFL games are still broadcast on free television, preserving access for the majority of fans. He has also emphasized the record-breaking viewership of the controversial Peacock-exclusive wildcard matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins. That game drew a jaw-dropping 23 million viewers, making it the most streamed live sporting event in U.S. history. It was a data point meant to silence critics and bolster his claim that streaming is not only viable, it's the new norm. And yet, impressive as those numbers may be, they do not tell the full story. Critics argue that raw viewership figures don't reflect the deeper problem, access inequality. For every fan who streamed that wildcard game, there were countless others left behind. Older viewers unfamiliar with digital platforms, lower-income households unable to afford multiple subscriptions, and rural families struggling with weak internet connections. The move toward digital exclusivity may be innovative, but it also risks creating a two-tiered system of fandom, one where access depends not on loyalty or tradition, but on how much you can pay and how tech-savvy you are.